We got the far right in the house. That's how I do. I'm Hey Rude.
What up? What up?
That's how I do. I'm Hey Rude. Precise laser beam lyrics. We got the far right in the house. That's how I do. I'm Hey Rude. Skills are evident. My stilo is time. We got the far right in the house. That's how I do. I'm Hey Rude. Coming to reclaim Los Angeles. Blow the spot.
Jari, what's up?
Blow the spot. Blow the spot.
What's up, Kate? No, but I'm going to. How is it so far? Now, is this the one that 50 Cent put out?
Sleep on the chin, man, you better read the scouting report. You doubting this, so I connect with Mr. Alchemist. The soul assassin, straight blasting, bringing heat. You marvel at my connects, wondering why you can't compete. You're not competitive, you're more like a sedative. You put me to sleep with each line. Are you the bedtime kid? Yet and still,
What's up, Anthony?
I remain crisp like newly printed
Eli?
bills and watch for those money
Jari?
hungry Anita
Kate?
Hills. Lyrics are effortless, no matter how stormy the weather gets. Those who know me like Kobe say he's proliferate. The gifted kid, focus like triangular push-ups. Why you claim to be hard when you a buttercup? I fuck shit up, stutter step with action-packed act. Don't pull no crap, just hit the track like a fullback. Lead block, don't mistake this for no pop rap pop. But that raw deal fell, that real hip-hop. We
What's up,
straight
Freddie?
serious in this. The thicker the weather gets, it's serious business. Focus daily. We straight serious in this. The thicker the weather gets, it's serious business. Focus daily.
I'm 12 inches, get under skins like splinters. Watch my blind side, catch your elbow to the dentures. Never drop dimes, I'd rather save expenses. Evidence under intense pressure makes key decisions. This track hits like Sonny listing for the Alchemist. Will someone give me an award, illest vocalist? I'll come whack when LL loses the hat. Better yet, catch me with feds when Jordan grows dread. I own scissors for clones, kill mics and megaphones loud. Be meek or be King Shamik, and do it to the crowd. Out for bucks on the daily like Chuck. Always focus, evidence, yo. Here's your notice. What? Of eviction, time to leave the premises. This album is incredible, reps are arch nemesis. I feel better cause I spoke my piece out the comptoir sack and smoked that piece.
We straight serious in this. The thicker the weather gets, it's serious business. Focus daily. We straight serious in this. The thicker the weather gets, it's serious business. Focus daily. We straight serious in this. The thicker the weather gets, it's serious business. Focus daily. We straight serious in this. The thicker the weather gets, it's serious business. Focus daily. My lyrical's unparalleled. You couldn't even catch a line if I caught you on your chips up. In your ear, crisp and clear. This nigga the farmer's marvelous, like Chinese New Year. Occasions, leaving brains battered, bruised, and blazing. A statesman in the sun, hey, rule the LA Shogun. Show some, show many, that lyrics are plenty for him.
What's
In the
up,
last in the
Exotic?
late night, much longer than Arsenio. The far out diamond in the rough with hot stuff. So many niggas claim that they're focused, but that's a fucking bluff. Or a lie, you can't lie to a man with a third eye. I'm in tune with this
What's
shit
everybody
like
up
when
to?
the birds fly. It's not enough to be focused just in the mind like the locust.
What is going on? Little Defari. Focus Daily album, 1998. Back when we actually had hip hop. You guys remember that? It's good to see you, Eli, Jari, Kate. Anthony France is in the building. Extra large Freddy. Exotic Prairie. Anthony says FBI just increased the reward for the coach who was caught with CSAM to $500,000. Yeah, I mean, we talk about that all the time, Anthony, right? Coaches, neighbors, friends, uncles. Try to educate parents. You know, not everybody's a true crime fanatic like we are. You know, not everybody's studying victimology on their free time. Like you lunatics. Clicked the wrong thing there for a second. U.S. Marshals join hunt for fugitive Virginia football coach. Warn he may be armed. Well, the way it read to me was he was going to pull a Landry. He was going to walk as far as he could and then probably take his own life. Which is what he probably did. He wandered off into the woods with a gun, they said. Yep. Doesn't that remind you of somebody? Fucking coward. It's because they're thinking about spending time in prison. They're just so selfish. Control freaks. But you never know. A lot of these types, even though they want to, they can't take their own lives. We heard, I think it was Richard Allen who said he wanted to take his own life but was too much of a coward. And he's not the only killer who said that. Anthony says, can't trust teachers, coaches, anyone. Scary. Yeah, you can't. Travis Turner, who had been leading undefeated Union High School from Big Stone Gap, is wanted on suspicion of possession of CSAM, the marshals announced. Here's your killer right here. This is what your killer looks like, guys. This is what your child killer looks like, in my opinion. I don't think they all plan to kill. They all suffer from what they like to call a sickness, but they know it's wrong. And I think part of it for them, I think, is the sneaking around. You know, I'm starting to pick that up. Them trying to get away with it, trying to avoid getting busted. Yeah. What's up, Cindy? Yeah, he did say that, Anthony. I'm pretty sure. I almost want to say Koberger said something similar, but I could be wrong. I was a young girl in 1970s telling my dad to look for monsters under my bed after watching Wicked Witch on Wizard of Oz. Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, they're just men, but they are monstrous. These monsters hide behind their jobs and their titles. Oh, he's a teacher. What a great guy. He's a coach. Such a good guy. But hiding, right? Local girl goes missing. Found in a shallow grave 30 miles away. No suspects. Bruising around the throat. Unknown male semen found at the scene or on the victim. Right? This type of guy is not going to be in the database. He's going to make sure of it. Hiding in plain sight, no criminal record. But this is what your killer looks like, in my opinion. This is your child killer. No intention of actually committing a murder, but slowly progressing with the pedophilia, right? Slowly, it's gymnastics videos on YouTube, and then it's the Kick app, and then from the Kick app, um, maybe you're taking people from Instagram and Facebook, and you're sending them over to Kick and over to Snapchat. So you're a 50, 40, 50, 60-year old, maybe, 30, 40, 50, 60, late 20-year-old male, maybe even a female in some cases. And now somehow you're communicating with 12-year-old kids secretly on some kind of hidden Kick page. And you're also sharing CSAM on Dropbox and encrypted links. So you're talking to you're talking to this your victim on Snapchat. Same town, maybe a neighboring town, maybe even neighboring state. 400-mile drive. Remember all those How to Catch a Predator? Those people would drive like across 3 state lines. They would drive for 8, 9, sometimes 10 hours. District judges, local pharmacists, traveling 400 miles to meet a kid. Those are your killers. They're not going there to commit a murder. They're going there to feed whatever this thing is. And then once they're done, they're overwhelmed with grief and panic. And then they just commit the murder because they're obviously out of their mind anyway. And go ahead and pick your personality disorder. If not, 3 or 4 of them. Most likely and most definitely including psychopathy. CJK, what up? Another coach from same school was convicted of the same charges. There you go. The evil cabal. These people are hiding right under our noses. They're in the chat. They're in your children's schools. Beware of the devils presenting themselves as angels of light. Right? How many people are really, really just so nice? Right? They just want you to go out and have a good time, parent. You deserve a night out. No, hell no. You don't deserve shit. Get your ass back in that house. Keep that motherfucker away from your kids. I don't see him leaving the country. He's not wealthy. I'm thinking he's offed himself. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Exotic, you know. This is what's kind of reminding me of. Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito's fiance, died from a gunshot wound to the head, medical examiner says. Is this a video? Wow, even better.
Hi, I'm Prenuvo, a revolutionary, proactive health.
The fuck? In our minds, we view people that are predator as perhaps monsters or powerful somehow, but the reality is they're extremely average. Well, that's not what scares us. What scares us is that thing, whatever it is that, makes them want to kill. Whatever it is that makes them unpredictable. To me, that's the scary part. Because it could be anybody. It could be somebody that you might even think is weak or non-threatening.
Road trip with her fiance, Brian Laundrie. Her body was found in Wyoming last September, a few weeks after her family last heard from her, and after Laundrie returned to Florida alone driving her van. Then he also went missing. His body was found in late October in a reserve. Tonight, Randy Kay is learning more about the case, and she joins me now from Florida. So what did we learn from the FBI today?
Anderson, the FBI had a big announcement today saying that before Brian Laundrie took his life, he admitted that he was responsible for Gabby Petito's death. He apparently admitted this in a notebook that was found nearby his remains. The FBI Denver releasing a statement today saying a review of the notebook revealed written statements by Mr. Laundrie claiming responsibility for Ms. Petito's death. The FBI also announcing some new information, Anderson, saying that a revolver was found near Laundrie's remains. We knew that he had taken his life, that he had shot himself, but this is also new information. But regarding that notebook, we did know that it was in decent condition. Of course, the family was hoping that it would provide some answers. The Petito family, of course, wanting to know if Brian Laundrie had said anything in that notebook about what happened to their daughter. But the question is, what are those details? We still don't know. Did he say that it was an accident or that it was intentional? Did he say why or where this happened? We still don't know. And Anderson, you may recall that last fall when the Teton County coroner investigated her death, he ruled it a homicide. And he said that it is
this website's making my shit glitch. Jeez. Let me read a little bit of this for you. This guy I don't think he killed anybody. I think he's wanted for CSAM. But what I'm saying is, this is what your killer looks like, right? Somebody that has a lot to lose. If anybody found out, he would have to take his own life. His life is over, but they can't stop doing what they're doing. It's like playing Russian roulette. They keep spinning the barrel, instead of just putting the gun down. So these are the guys that keep pushing back the goalpost and getting more extreme with their illness. And I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is what we've learned from covering true crime cases. It's weird. There's a pattern with all of this. It's like this brainless, diseased, godless, empty vessel, and something just jumps right in there. Like look at his eyes. I mean, you really don't know what somebody like that is capable of. All these missing children. And you want to know why you can't find them? Because it's people like this, just hiding right in front of you. Commit a sexual assault, and they're like, oh man, I can't risk my coaching job or my principal's job. I think Richard Allen's adopted father was a principal of the middle school. You know what I mean? How can you be so obtuse? What'd you call me? Obtuse. At least he only took himself out instead of the M and 76er. Oh. Yeah, it could have been worse. But this is I don't think we're dealing with psychosis, like Travis Decker. Or he might have thought he was doing something good for his kids, which is sometimes the case, right? Just like Allison Jones. She thought her husband was the Delphi killer and killed her son Maddox to spare him from that devastating truth, right? Her husband survived, Maddox died, and she's in a mental hospital. Anthony says, don't think people know that we're live. That's how we do it around here. We just kind of, either you catch it or you don't. We kind of stay low key around here. There are some predators who actually blame their victims. Sick motherfuckers. Well, most predators have like a victim mentality, right? If they wouldn't have done what they did, I wouldn't have had to do what I did. Right? They pushed me to it. Here's
A local grandmother accused of
a
shooting
good example.
and killing her son-in-law after making a comment about her clothing, admits she did it and says she would do it again. 10 News reporter Allison Ash is joining us live. And Allison, Cynthia Siedebaca says she didn't stop shooting until her gun was empty.
And she reloaded it 2 more times and emptied it 2 more times, according to testimony here today. But I want to tell you that just within the last 30 minutes, the judge did rule that there is now enough evidence for Cynthia Siedebaca to stand trial for murder.
You're good looking.
This is video of Cynthia Siedebaca joking and smiling.
You guys see the demon? Like, you want to see the demon? Watch this. And there, it's always the tongue. Right? Look at all of the depictions of like demons from ancient paintings and shit. This is what they look like.
This is video of Cynthia Siedebaca joking and smiling at her mental competency hearing last month. The judge today would not allow any television cameras to record the preliminary evidence against her.
Okay. How do you expect that this woman right here is going to kill you? Just going to murder you one day, right? Your wife's mother moves in. She's been living with you. And she thinks she's doing her daughter a favor by killing you. I just don't see how you can prepare for something like that. To me, that's the definition of true crime.
Siedebaca is accused of shooting her son-in-law, Gerard Estacchio, 15 times inside their Fallbrook home after he criticized her clothing.
That's a beautiful house.
Then, as he lay dying, going out for breakfast, some gambling, and a stop at her favorite coffee shop where she was arrested. The prosecution played an interview with detectives where she called her
What's up,
son-in-law evil. Somebody had to stop him, said a detective. I did, replied Titabaka. Is he dead? The detective asked.
Right? She's the victim. She's a hero in her mind.
Asks, he's got to be dead. Is he dead? The detective asks a second time.
Fishy,
Sidabaka's
what up?
answer, I
Good to
hope
see you.
so. Later, this
How you
chilling
doing, Cindy?
exchange. A detective referring to the murder weapon says, you shot it until it was empty? Yep, she answered. Did he say anything to you? And in a mocking tone of voice, Sidabaka says, Grandma, I love you. The detective asks, did you check to see if he was dead? Sidabaka, I didn't care. There was also testimony from neighbors who said they heard the shots fired and heard a voice calling out, help me. By the time deputies
Yes,
got
Cindy.
there, Sidabaka
Exactly.
had already left the house to celebrate
She's like a real life cartoon witch.
her 63rd birthday.
It was her birthday gift to herself to kill her son-in-law. And then she asks the homicide detective, she says, is he dead? And they go, yes, he's dead. And she throws her arms up. She grabs their hands. There's a detective to her right, a detective to her left. She grabs their hands, lifts them up in the air, and says, yes, thank you, God. Thank you, God. He's dead. Are you sure? They're like, yep, he's dead. She's like, yes. She's like celebrating. Like her team just won the Super Bowl. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Right? But she's the victim. Let's see. Federal authorities join the search for a fugitive high school football coach being sought in connection with the child sex abuse image and solicitation probe in Virginia and warn he may be armed. The U.S. Marshal Service on Monday asked anyone with information about Travis Turner, 46, to call it or Virginia State Police. VSP is still searching for Turner with the assistance of the FBI and U.S. Marshal Service. State Police spokesperson Robin Lawson said in a statement Monday, Turner, coach of the undefeated Union High School Bears in Big Stone Gap, vanished November 20th in what was initially cast as a simple missing persons case. And think about this too. He's like fucking up their whole season. Right? I don't know how they're going to be able to concentrate. But then state police announced last week that they had obtained arrest warrants for Turner on suspicion of 5 counts of possession of child pornography and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor. Yuck. Since his disappearance, Union has won 2 playoff games, most recently a 21-14 triumph over Ridgeview on Saturday to capture the Region 2D championship. Oh, shit. Good for them. Yeah, fuck him. Don't let him ruin your season. Don't give him that. Union is set to play Glenvar High School on Saturday in the Class 2 state semifinals. Well, good luck. Police and school officials have declined to say whether any victims or complaining witnesses against Turner are connected to Union High. Well, obviously, right? But not necessarily. A public school with about 600 students in the far southwest corner of Virginia. High school is about 170 miles west of Virginia Tech University and Blacksburg, about 120 miles northeast of the University of Tennessee. Yeah, this guy's he may not be alive. I think we're looking at a Brian Landry type situation, honestly. Yeah. And you could be right, Anthony. I mean, look at Ted Bundy. He escaped prison and went and murdered 7 more people. So, yeah, you never know. He's alive. I'm hiding. You better hide your kids. Hide your kids, hide your wives. They're snatching our people up. Hide your kids, hide your wives.
Equipped to lace the burning sands of the lowlands. Yo, you don't know, man. Yo, you don't know, man. The burning sands of the lowlands. Yo, you don't know, man. Yo, you don't know, man. Give thanks, that's what I say when I wake. Another day in LA, feel the sun bake. I holler at Scott, he know about the spot at the beach. Doc Waller, nigga, straight five. I call up Swift, let him know about the shit. Call up Will, he got the Hennessy on chill. I'm with Don Trail, he on deck with Satchel. Rollerblazing like Terry McMillan, wait to exhale. My nigga Will stay off stalker. Some cities got hot bitches, but on Crenshaw it's hotter. From badass bitches to cold ass Impalas. Vassier special with 2 glasses for $20. It's hella hot, we pull up to Doc Waller. The scene is so lovely, it make me wanna holler. The burning sands of the lowlands, with sisters of Batman and brothers fear no man. Yo, you don't know, man. The burning sands of the lowlands, with sisters of Batman and brothers fear no man. You don't know, man. Summertime, 7:30, time for sunset. Sometime I go and walk with my queen and get laid. Watch the sun cascade over the ocean. Thoughts of how the liquid about to put it all in motion. Sometimes I sit and watch and see dolphins. Defara alumni from Pac-10 like Kenny Lofton. Never soft, stay healthy, avoid coughs. In LA we buy houses, fuck apartments and lofts. Yo, my cold flow, straight Wild West, professional. California green, from the trees down to the vegetables. Whack MCs are also edible. After 6 figures, when I'm trying to see my decimal. Point land, cash in hand, I'm on my way to Seville. In the Crescent Heights lowland, the burning sands of the lowlands, with sisters of Batman and brothers fear no man. Yo, you don't know, man. The burning sands of the lowlands, with sisters of Batman and brothers fear no man. Yo, you don't know, man. The burning sands of the lowlands, with sisters of Batman and brothers fear no man. Yo, you don't know, man. The burning sands of the lowlands, with sisters of Batman and brothers fear no man. Yo, you don't know, man. Flex the skill, see this broad with a baby strill, ass popping out, no doubt. Man, I got to kill like Grant Hill. I play with cool moves, see niggas.
It's like that in a hieroglyphics, yeah. 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 It's like that in a hieroglyphics, yeah.
Pyro, y'all. It's not a wrong thing to be addicted to the microphone like a heroin fiend. I'll tell you one thing, you never catch me fronting as I proceed to give the people what they want. You making some green, but not for glamour or fashion. I'm stacking cash until I can get moms a mansion. All from rapping. Nah, man, there's many and land. It started all from impressing the fans with brand new flow. And you know, all the way from gangster bones to weirdos who's used those. But we ain't tripping, give respect when you see this. You need us or your rap's underdeveloped like a fetus.
Those that know not those, and it shows when we broke out the knot, hoes hopped out they clothes. That's positive feedback. Yup, the pros. are poised. We never pose, you'll never know. From 93 till enveloping felt. But only thing I fear is fear itself. So you know what we got to do? Maybe could we keep it within the groove like it should be? Never giving out, we living out our dreams. If it's something I can't live without, that's my team. You never knew.
Hieroglyphics. Hip hop is vintage, underground like silos, launching long range ballistics. Now we groundbreaking, musical boundaries, running circles around them.
Just like that, and a hieroglyphic shield. Just like that, and a hieroglyphic shield. Just like that. Just like that, and a hieroglyphic shield. Just like that, and a hieroglyphic shield.
Damn, you don't know the hieroglyphics? It's too bad. That is too bad. So I heard there was some Delphi Richard Allen appeal news today. I don't know what was going on. Were they asking for an extension or something? What happened? Do tell.
This is WDEF Radio. Big Search here with some important news. Russell Simmons just called me to let me know. It's official. EPMD broke up.
The Ricky lovers.
Hello?
E baby, E.
Yo, what's up, Russ?
Come on, man. I need an EPMD record.
Let me call here with that. You know I ain't doing no EPMD record. Nigga tripping, man. You bugging.
Just come to the club, man, for a minute. Just come to the club.
Yo, Russ, man, that's out of the question, B. Hey, man.
Anthony says, as soon as you bring up, he said he was the bridge guy, they go ballistic. Well, they love Richard Allen. He's become like an idol. It's basically idol worship. It's not Richard Allen anymore. It's what he represents. He's a token. Token of their disdain. But the truth is, all these Richard Allen lovers, they're half right. They are half right. I mean, really, that's the problem with confirmation bias, if you think about it. If you don't acknowledge it and try to see it for what it is, you may be honestly seeking the truth, but because of all this confirmation bias, it's going to have like a magnetic pull. To anything that kind of fits your narrative. It's going to kind of pull you in that direction. And you may not even notice it. I know I didn't for a long time. I probably still don't with some things, but at least I try to. Try to make the effort. He had his story together until he left out the part he wasn't on the bridge. Well, it's very interesting when Kathy tells him, like, hey, I didn't tell him that you're on the bridge because you told me that you weren't on the bridge. I'm sorry that I said that. It's at that moment he kind of gets really frustrated. And he's like, ah, shit. And he just kind of stops talking. Instead of finishing his sentence, he goes, I love you. It's like at that moment what he's saying is goodbye. He's like, they're probably going to come and arrest me right now. Like, just so you know, I love you. he knew how devastating that was. But for whatever reason, people that support Richard Allen, they don't see how devastating that was. And I don't know why. You know, it's almost like a social experiment in itself. It's interesting to observe. Makes you wonder what's going on. What does it all mean? Because you definitely want to take the time to look at things from every angle. You know, it's kind of like when you're looking for something, you're like looking around, you're like, what the hell? I just laid it down right here. But whatever it is that you're looking for just happens to be just behind another object. And if you were to move, let's say, a foot to your left and take another perspective or, you know, look at things from another angle, it would become very clear. Or the word, I guess, understanding, you know, where they would kind of go underneath the structure of the foundation and take a look at it so that they can get an understanding. I think half are involving Frank's hearing issues. Yeah, it's weird. It's interesting to see a group of people take whatever the defense team is putting out as factual information. Like it's their job to like kind of stretch the truth. What they're doing is they're kind of surfing this thin gray line with the judge, right? Like I wonder what she'll allow, what she won't allow. It's like a child, right? Testing the patience of their parent until they get smacked, right? So I find that very strange to see people just blindly like following defense attorneys as if what they're saying is some kind of like factual information. Anthony says Kathy wanted to search, he didn't. Yeah, how weird is that? Kathy has been interested in the Delphi case since day one. To find herself sitting across from the actual killer in an interrogation room and realizing that she's married to him. Man, that is fucking bizarre. Like, how does that shit happen? Drives me crazy. How does this type of shit happen in the world? How is it possible the CVS assistant manager is so fucked up on that day that he did what he did? And how is that the case for so many people out there in the world that commit these types of crimes? Like, how is this possible? Especially people with families and kids and no criminal record. I mean, it does happen. I don't know. I think a lot of us are lucky to be alive. Some of the bad decisions that we've made throughout our lives. Like, geez. Gosh, honestly, if you really sit back and think about all the dumb decisions that we've ever made, like how lucky we are to be alive and how lucky we weren't victimized to the point of being killed, you know? I still to this day watch her drive off in the van and leave Ricky there while their house is being searched. Said it years ago. No wife does that. She was over his bullshit. I mean, I just can't get over the fact that Rosie was partners with Aki, and Aki was Kagan Klein and Ron Logan's attorneys. So between Aki and Rosie, they're defending all of the people who are probably involved in the crime. I mean, do you think that's just by chance? Maybe. I don't know. That shit's weird. And then they don't even bring up Keegan Klein or really even Ron Logan. Yeah, it's crazy. It's good to see you, Pitbull. Cindy says, my birthday was last Monday. People asked how I celebrated. I said, we ate Subway subs. I can get down with that. I was pissed when they took away the chicken breasts. I think they brought them back, though. Watched Wednesday and was in bed by 9. Feel blessed to have made it this far. Absolutely. Like, life is precious. I mean, think about it. Take care of your health. Don't take life for granted. Drive safe. If it seems dangerous, it probably is, right?
Happy birthday! Woo! Happy birthday! Woo!
Anthony says Kathy wanted to support him now, but sure didn't then. People say she had to go to work. Laugh out loud, cops swarming your home, searching. You ain't going to work. You're going to want to stay. I don't know, Anthony. This case is so fucking weird, man. It's just so weird. I just feel like we're missing something. We're missing something. I mean, truly, think about it. How is it that Rosie, who is partners with Aki, and Aki is represented Kagan Klein and Ron Logan, and now you have Rosie, who's defending Richard Allen? How is it that this one firm is representing all of the people who are seemingly actually involved in the crime? Like, what the fuck? And then later on, we find out that the brother of one of the defense attorney, which is partners with Aki, the firm that's representing all of the people who seemingly are actually guilty in this crime or complicit. Yeah, his brother, I think his name's Jeff, was tasked with collecting the Marathon gas station footage. And then it just kind of fucking disappears out of nowhere. The one piece of evidence that could have changed everything. Rosie's brother, according to the FBI, destroyed it. Or under his watch, it was destroyed or rendered useless. You're welcome, Cindy. Kathy went to Verizon to use bathroom. Where? What? Sorry. Sleuth, your wife ain't leaving you while your home is being searched. Hell no. Like, you guys would be sitting there talking, calling lawyers, calling attorneys, asking for paperwork. Yeah, you're right. That is kind of fucking weird. That is pretty interesting, Anthony, now that you mention it. I never really looked at it that way. Here's my opinion. She said, Ricky, what did you do now? You told her something to make her drive off. Yeah, I wonder what he said. Yeah, it's hard to call it with Kathy. Like, did she know? Didn't she know? Because her saying, well, you told me that you weren't on the bridge, so I told him that you weren't on the bridge. I'm sorry. You know, that could have been her not really realizing that she's being recorded and apologizing to him for not having the story straight, right? Maybe she has been complicit this whole time. Maybe when he put the gun in his mouth and the whole new direction presser, maybe it really did kind of put some pressure on them, and that's what caused him to put the gun in his mouth. And that's when they kind of came to terms with things. You know, maybe he manipulated her into thinking, well, yeah, I did do it. I'm not quite sure what happened. You know, I had a breakdown and it'll never, ever happen again. I'll make these changes, right? A, B, and C. I'll stop drinking. I'll get rid of all my social media. I won't go hang out with fucking Tony Klein anymore. She's like, yeah, okay. She believed him, like, okay, you did this, and we're going to have to, you know, figure out a way to get past it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, now that you mention it, sees through. Your response to Cindy Lean. Yeah, Anthony, I think she told him she's going to go drive to her work to go to the restroom. Yeah, and don't forget, guys, if these guys are part of some kind of greater conspiracy, think of all of the money that was laundered from the taxpayers. All those years. What was it, like $2 million? Like, what was the price tag of the Delphi trial? Think about it. Think about where all that money went. Some people say, well, why would they do this? Why would they, you know, why would they string things along like this? Shit. I always felt like if she knew he was on the bridge, he might have told her he told the girls to get off the bridge, but that was it. And you know what's interesting, Cindy? I don't know if he would have gotten off, but if Rick would have admitted to telling the girls to go down the hill, like he could have made up a story like they were asking how to get to the private drive or to go see the shoe tree. And I, you know, I was showing them. I told them to go down the hill. And then I left. And then somebody else right? Pulling up through the private drive committed the murder. But in his mind, he wanted to go ahead. He was kind of doing his own investigation. He was like, okay, who saw me? That lady on the bridge got a really good look at me. Those 3 girls, I'll just say that they were weird. I'll start getting ahead of that. They look drunk, right? These girls were drunk and crazy. That way, when they say, oh, I saw him out there, my wife will say, well, my husband told me early on that they were crazy. Something was off with them. They might be the killers. Yeah, it's all dirty money. Millions of dollars. Not only millions of dollars for the trial, millions of dollars into the trail systems, into Delphi. Yeah, just it's crazy. Thank you, Jari. It's not like the cops or prosecutor gained any of the money, their salary. I don't know where you're going with the taxpayer money thing. Well, think about it, Kate. If I gave you $2 million to conduct a trial, right? What are you going to do with that money? Who are you going to hire? Are you going to hire strangers? Or are you going to hire people that are kind of part of your guild? Part of your network? It's just easy to hire somebody that you have a back channel with and say, hey, I'm going to hire you and you're going to give me your rate, right? But your rate is also going to include my fee on the back end that nobody's ever going to know about. You're just going to hand me a big pile of cash. You hand me the pile of cash that you already have, and then we'll include that. And it'll be the taxpayers who pay it. That's how you launder taxpayer money. That's what the government does. Right? Let's go to war. That way I can hire my best friend's military company to make all the bombs. And then when nobody's looking, he's just going to hand me a shit ton of money when we're out on the beach. Kate says, are you talking about the defense? I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about everybody involved. Prosecution and the defense. Right? If there's a conspiracy, they're all in on it. That's what I want people to understand. Remember, it was Gall that selected them. I think there's a good chance that maybe Baldwin might not be in on it. He might be like a useful idiot. Yeah, they would all be in on it. That's what I'm trying to explain. Rosie and Aki are partners in the same firm, right? They are literally business partners. Aki represented Ron Logan and Keegan Kline, 2 people who are likely involved in this crime, especially Keegan Kline. Right? You got Ron Logan, who was cleaning up his property, spending a lot of money on fish, leaving his property like, I know nothing. I see nothing. I see nothing. With intimate knowledge about box cutters, potentially, right? And then you have Reese, who's talking about Ron Logan with the box cutter, only to backtrack and implicate Richard Allen while explaining that it was Keegan Kline, somebody that he was also in contact with. right? That's how he had knowledge, intimate knowledge of the crime scene. He was in contact with Ron Logan and Keegan Kline. But he also implicated Richard Allen, because that's the truth right there, probably, right? I mean, what is Ron Logan cleaning up for? Yeah, he's at the dump and he doesn't look like the bridge guy because he's not the bridge guy. But what is he cleaning up for? What is he leaving right at 209? Right? They have him pinging, basically getting on the freeway near the CPS building, right? Getting on the 25, heading to Lafayette, like right at 209. So why is he creating a fake alibi? Why does he have intimate knowledge about the box cutter? And then you have Aki, who represents Ron Logan and Keegan Kline, and then it's his partner that's representing Richard Allen. And it's Judge Gull who selected him. Man, it's just bizarre. You have Keegan Kline confessing to the entire investigative team, taking them to Delphi, explaining like, hey, this is what happened. This, nothing. I wonder if they had something more on Keegan Kline. I wonder if there was something else. Something else that I wonder if there was a deal that they made. I know it doesn't seem like it. He got, 46 years or something like that. Maybe there was something else there. Or the judge, right? Think about this. Keegan Kline's case, believe it or not, was just a part of the Delphi murders. That's all it was. The reason they served the search warrant on Keegan Kline to begin with was the Delphi murders. Why didn't they arrest him? Same reason his name wasn't brought up during the trial. But his trial and everything that was going on with him is just a piece of the Delphi trial. That's it. So if this is one big conspiracy, the judge in that trial is just going to throw the book at him, right? Like, we're just going to seal the deal on this fucking guy, throw the book at him, and we're going to just keep him confined, isolated. And that's what they did to Richard Allen. We're going to isolate everybody. Shit, who even knows if Ron Logan died of COVID? But yeah, Trey Bizarre. Well, prosecution was all appointed and were on salary. Exactly. Like, they don't, like, you're not, I guess you're missing it, Kate. It's not about getting paid up front. It's about getting paid on the back end, right? You need a specialist, right? I need a specialist. Okay, well, who are you going to hire as a specialist? Probably somebody that you know. Somebody that you can make a deal with. We're like, hey, I'll hire you if you give me some of that money. It's not about paying the prosecutor more or a higher salary. No, it's about taking the taxpayer money, the Indiana state taxpayer, and taking that $2 million that was put towards the Delphi trial into the pockets of people that they know, people that they're aligned with, or maybe even share interests with. Anthony says, Kathy says, you didn't tell me that you were on the bridge. More, I look back, maybe they had many discussions on this case. Yeah, because if you really look at it, it's almost like she's saying, I'm sorry. Like, she's kind of whispering to him. She's like, you didn't tell me you were out there, right? I told him you weren't out there. Like, I thought I was keeping up, keeping the story straight. And Rick's like, well, yeah, I didn't want to actually tell you that, even though I know that I'm guilty. And who shot the video? Yeah, we're going to cover something tomorrow called the Gabby's Cult. You know, it has a lot to do. It's very similar to some of the stuff we covered, the dark web stuff. This new breed of CSAM, sextortion, online terrorist. Really, they're just nihilists. They just want to, they're anarchists, really. They just want to breed chaos. They want to do the worst thing imaginable. So they target teens, they target them through Roblox, young children. Discord is a big tool. What they do is they sextort them, and then they get them to make videos of like attempted suicide, self-harm, carving the predator's nicknames onto their body. Yeah, it's insane. And it's happening right under your nose, parents. It's happening right now. You're watching this live stream, and somewhere in the back room of your home, a predator is using a voice changer and a what they call it? It's like a hidden a vault app. They're using a vault app. It might look like a calculator or something, and it even has a decoy password. So right, you say, "Hey, I was watching Sleuth Intuition and I found your vault app. Open it right now, or I'm going to destroy your phone, young child, young woman, young man." They're like, "Oh, okay. Please don't break my phone. I'll show you it's nothing." And they give you the decoy. And you go through it, and it's just a bunch of silly photos, and you're like, right? But really, that's a decoy password. And when the children are being groomed, it's these predators that educate them. Like, hey, this is what you have to do. Your parents are going to try to break us apart. They're going to try to keep us apart. You don't want that, right? No, no, no. I want you to keep sending me money. I want you to keep like buying me stuff on Roblox. Robux is what it is. Right? So if you see your kids running around with other little kids on Roblox, there's a good chance that it's really like some grimy ass old man. Doug Carter, what the hell does he know? He's all talk. I'm done with Doug. Be gone, Doug. You're dismissed. Absolutely, Anthony. Very interesting. He had all this money. Somebody could have given him money. Spent an hour buying fish. Spent over like, I think almost $100, like $95, $97. And spent all day at the dump as if he was cleaning up. Like, when you clean up, it's because you're expecting guests. What's up, Devil's Reject? Cindy, in my opinion, Ron found the girls freaked. I don't know. I mean, I think that's just as likely as him being involved. Right. Remember, I think it was James Haas, convicted Delphi murderer. He, in a jealous crime of passion, murdered the woman that he was dating. She was going back to her husband. Well, he was locked up apparently with Ron Logan and told Barbara McDonald that while they were locked up together, Ron Logan would lay on the floor and masturbate and would kind of give details about the crime scene and talk about the girls. So first you have that, right? People don't talk about that. Then you have what Reese Davis said, where Ron Logan confided into him and told him what happened, right? But the truth is, just because Ron Logan's mentioning a box cutter and kind of saying he did it or he panicked, honestly, it could have been him telling the story of what happened, but not it being him. You know what I mean? Like, he's involved, he's complicit, and maybe he's trying to show off or sound dangerous. Might as well, right? You are involved. But those could have been the actions of Rick Allen and Tony Klein. When he comes back later on, he bumps into them, finds out what happens through the grapevine. Well, it didn't go as planned. We didn't get to do what we wanted to do. Then things kind of went crazy and we killed them with box cutters. Or this idiot killed them with box cutters or something like that. They talked about how story straight, but he left that out. Good night, Kate. Or by then, they are threatened and scared to say anything. Well, think about it. Even Richard Allen would be involved in the conspiracy, right? He's like, I know my role. I know that I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, right? There's a pecking order. He's like, well, if they could kill these two girls and control my defense team, and they can get rid of Robert Ives and bring in Shane Evans and do all this weird shit, right? Like right in front of everybody. What would make you think that they wouldn't just kill Richard Allen or somebody in his family, maybe even his daughter, right? Make it look like a car crash or something? Like, oh, I have bad news for you, Richard. Yeah, it's horrible news. I hate to break the news to you. It was awful, right? Those icy roads. Ricky walking to the bridge, ignoring everyone. Then the girls show up by chance. They say, bullshit sleuth, you and I know it. He was there for a fucking reason. Yeah, it was Valentine's Day. What if Valentine's Day had nothing to do with like some kind of inappropriate relationship? What if Rick was trying to give Kathy a gift? Right? If I do this, I'll make it right. Because in her interview, she's like, we don't celebrate anything. Like, she's like, no, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. Cindy, Doug, call me. I'll be waiting by the phone. He's got that Sean Connery thing going on. The guy you couldn't wait to tell us zero. Yeah. I can't wait to tell you. Right. But now's not the time. He's going to be in a wheelchair in like 10 years from now going, I can't wait to tell you. But today is not that day. It's like, damn it, Doug. Ricky preyed on other girls at work, went into women's bathrooms, just speculation, but he got transferred, so. No. Did you guys watch the most recent Sleuth Crew review of that family guy? Or, well, a married man kind of living a seemingly normal life, getting arrested for trading CSAM on Dropbox? Well, what he said was he had all of the social media at one point, but began abusing it. And after he began abusing it, his wife caught on and he had to lie, right? Oh, she's like, what the fuck are you doing with all this weird shit that's coming up on our browser history? He's like, oh, fuck. Right? Because they're learning as they go. Like, oh, shit. And that's what it is. It's the evolution of a killer. Like even Michael Klunder, right? Remember, he kidnapped 2 infants. He's like, nah, that's weird. And he went and dumped these infants in the dumpster. And then he's like, yeah, I can't do that. So then he overcompensated and went for a woman. I think she was like 29 or something like that. He picked her up and like literally tried to carry her. And she just started like kicking his ass. Like, what the fuck? Get off of me. And he's like, ah, shit. Like, damn, that was hard. Like, I can't, like, it's hard to just kidnap a woman. Remember, killers are trying to get from point A to point B. He's like, so he's trying to figure that out. So he doesn't want to go all the way to infants, even though they seem vulnerable, but that's not his thing sexually. He's like, oh, damn. So he just dumps them. He's like, well, what I really want is a woman, but I want to be able to attain my victim. But he couldn't do it. So that's why he started going to younger kids. And he started targeting like 13, anywhere between 13 and 14, and possibly even the Evansdale girls. Anthony says, never heard anyone say Ron Logan and Ricky could have hung out at bars or together, but I've looked down that rabbit hole. Well, it's kind of like, I don't know. I guess it kind of reminds me of high school when you'd get into a fight with somebody and everybody would be like, oh, well, let's meet here. Then both sides meet up and they bring a friend, and then their friend brings a cousin, and then you bring 2 other friends. So it's like people show up that are on your side, but aren't connected to each other. There's some people that might be on your side that don't know each other. Might be a family member, not a friend, maybe an acquaintance, maybe somebody that just wants to come and fuck some shit up and happens to maybe be a coworker or something. You never know. But what I'm saying is sometimes people come together to do bad things that may not really know each other. Like Rick Allen may not even know Ron Logan, but maybe Dave McCain does, right? Maybe Rick Allen only knows Dave McCain, and that's why he's involved. I don't know. It's all pretty crazy. Quite the web. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, Klunder is pure evil. But it's the evolution, you guys. It's the evolution of a killer. That's the moral. People that should never get out of prison. Sex offenders should never be allowed out of prison, in my opinion. The only problem with creating harsh penalties for sex offenders is you're creating a higher likelihood that they'll commit a murder. Psychologically, I think that's what triggers them, is they create a sexual assault on a minor or begin a relationship with a minor, and they panic. They have this overwhelming sense that they're going to get caught. And you have to wonder, like, what could drive a man like that? The only thing that would drive a man or a woman to do something like that is the same thing that would drive a person to kill. These sex offenders who are targeting children are just killers before the fact. It's like fucking Minority Report. I'm telling you. Carla Bruscia, look at that case. Was walking home 1 block, right? The morning after a sleepover, and some drunk idiot who was going through a divorce, lost his job, just happened to see her cutting behind a business. Jumped out of the car, pulled out like a fake badge or something, and told her, "You need to come with me right now. It's an emergency." Grabbed her by the arm. She's 12 years old. She doesn't know any better. But it all starts with, pedophile shit. Then it turns into the Kick app. Remember? We all learned about the Kick app from Kagan Klein and Anthony Schatz. Emily Ann 45. Like, what's really going on with that? Now, remember, Emily Ann was supposedly, and I think it could have even been Richard Allen, honestly, claiming to be a 13-year-old girl, a lesbian, right? Of course, it's a lesbian, right? That's would explain why they want to see naked pictures, right? I'm not some creepy 19-year-old fat, balding man who lets my dad sleep with my girlfriends or my friends. Remember, he told the murder sheet, or told law enforcement, that his dad slept with like a 16 or 13-year-old girl or something like that. Wonder what happened with that. I wonder if anybody's going to investigate that shit. All right, guys, this is going to be our 5-minute warning. Anything you want to add? Let's get it out there. This was actually, this is a pretty good conversation. Don't get me going. You already know that. Kathy knew after that interview, lawyers manipulated her into thinking he didn't. Lawyers are great at that. Well, think about it. It almost appears as if they were milking the system, right? Think about how long, how many extensions, and how much money was spent, only to get the outcome that we all knew would happen. And then we didn't even get a plea deal, right? You want to know why we really didn't get a plea deal? Because oftentimes there's a detailed confession that accompanies a plea deal, right? It's like a stipulation. We'll give you this deal and you have to give us a full confession, right? Just deny all that and you don't have to worry about that. You can just totally shut out Richard Allen. He's just kind of like this character now. He's like a comic book character. And there's nowhere for him to run, because the lawyers that have been put in place to defend him are controlling his wife, controlling him, controlling the narrative, and working with the overall cabal, right? Potentially. Hypothetically. That's some scary shit if it's true. Because if it's going on in Delphi, you better believe it's fucking going on in your own community. What do you think? You're special? Cindy, you're welcome. Anthony, I'm asking for a lawyer, not for my wife. LOL. Didn't want to shame her. Yeah, so if there's anything that you guys leave this live stream with, just think about that. Here, maybe I can put it up on the screen. Sometimes visuals help. Let's see, defense team. All right, here it is. Let's see, share screen. So this is kind of the shit that I'm talking about here, guys. And it blows my mind. And that's all I've been trying to tell all of those conspiracy theorists out there. If this is a conspiracy, they're all fucking in on it. You know, it's not just the prosecution. Hillis, Rosie, and Knight. The guy on the right represented Kagan Klein and Ron Logan. The guy on the left represented Richard Allen. All three were royally fucked. Well, there you have it. All right. You guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out. And tomorrow, 9 a.m. my time, we go live. So be there or be square.